What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. We're back with another video covering one of our favorites, the film room. So go like, go subscribe. So far we've seen 2 of their videos and I've liked them both. So looking forward to this one as well. See what we get into. This one is, if you want to score, you must do these 3 things. Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to the film room. This video is based on a lot of requests that I've received recently about people who want to know, as a guard, how do you become more efficient or effective becoming a scorer, especially when you're undersized. So I'm gonna take some
we've done a Mike James video, the one that just went. We've done TJ Shorts.
Footage of 4 really impactful high-level scores from Euro basketball. And what I found is that they all do very similar things to score consistently night in and night out.
Case and Edwards,
especially as an undersized guard, that we're going to break down so that you know what to work on so that you can become
Is the film room stealing my videos? Is that what you're doing, buddy?
This elite. So as you're looking at the stats from these 4 players that we're going to break down in this video, know that they range anywhere from 5'9" to 6'2". And I'm also going to use this opportunity to remind you that if you want to watch EuroLeague basketball, which in my opinion is one of the best leagues that you can watch in the world, you can use my code FilmRoom15 to get a
I need to get a sponsorship for EuroLeague basketball. I need to do that.
15% discount on an annual EuroLeague pass. Check out the link in the description of this video if it's something that you're interested in.
So who's the 4th player that he's talking about? Did I miss one? Carson Edwards, TJ Shorts, Mike James.
So if you're someone that wants to be an elite scorer, whether you like this or not, the 3 ball is king. As an undersized guard or someone who has the ball in their hands a lot, you have to be able to consistently make 3-pointers. And more specifically, when we're talking about elite scoring guards, you've got to be able to make 3-pointers when a guy is guarding you this tight. And what you're going to see in this video is that these 4 guards don't live and die by the 3 ball. They attack the paint a lot, but the reason they're able to do that is because they can shoot the 3. So when you see a defender going for a shot fake 30 feet away from the basket,
is this Lonnie Walker?
It's because these guards have proven that they can make shots from out there, which allows them to get downhill. Now they can get into the paint and become a 3-level scorer, which is something that we'll talk about very soon. So if you're an undersized guard that's not experiencing defenders guarding you like this with a hand up that far away from the basket, it's because you haven't proven to be a good enough 3-point shooter, and you're going to need to work on that to
it's none. This is none, right?
Gain that respect. Now, one of the most important things about being a 3-point shooter is how deep your range is, because the deeper you can shoot it away from the basket, the further defenders have to guard you, which creates more space for you to be able to drive past them and get down.
Okay, so I will say one thing to really quickly. I don't know who he's intending this video to be for, but for you to, if this is for people that want to understand what it is that these really good guards do, this is perfect for that video. And if it's for players that are like, what is the reason I'm not, like, defenders aren't guarding me like this, but they're guarding Mike James like this, or then this is really good. The problem is there's so much missed. There's let's say this is step number 4, step number 5 to becoming a player of this level. Number 1 is, like, all 4 of those players, their physical conditioning is insane. So being able to just be physically in shape, being strong enough, being quick enough, being fast enough, that's the hardest part to overcome for me, and that's, like, step number 1. Then, like, step number 2 is, like, getting 2 feet into the key consistently, being able to get your teammates open, knowing all the plays, and all that. Then it's like being able to shoot open 3-pointers, being able to make attack closeouts, being able to do all that stuff. It's like 1, 2, and 3. Once you get to 1, 2, and 3, then the parts that he's talking about is exactly right. Deep threes, highly contested threes with a hand in the face, out of triple threat, that's when those come in. So this isn't a knock on the video. This is more hopefully to give more context of, like, wait, when do I need to start practicing my deep threes? After you've done those other 3 steps.
downhill. And the #1 separator with these elite guards isn't just that they can make deep threes, but they also have the ability to make threes when they are heavily contested. When you're still able to make shots when the defense is playing this well, that is what gives you the opportunity to be able to score every single night, no matter who you're playing. And this doesn't happen by accident. All these guards spend hours in the gym getting shots up and shooting against live defenders so that they can become this proficient.
So if you go watch a lot of our one-on-one breakdowns, that's what these guys can do, that stuff.
Now, it's important to note that all of these players have different specialties. For instance, Carson Edwards that you're seeing right here is one of the best off-the-dribble three-point shooters in EuroLeague. And that doesn't mean that he can't do other things or score in different ways, but when it comes down to it, when he needs a bucket, this is what he knows. He's spent the time and put the reps in to be able to knock these shots down. And on the contrary, you've got TJ Shorts, who is an elite driver that isn't as good from three, where defenders are going to dare him to shoot it so that they don't get beat off the bounce. So if your game is more...
We talked about this when we did this video. This sucks.
Where defenders are...
Because the scouting report would obviously be forcing him to shoot.
Going to dare him to shoot it so that they don't get beat off the bounce.
Puts his hands... Coach, I did what you wanted.
So if your game is more similar to his, you've got to be able to make these shots so that defenders can't play off of you and take away what you're really good at. Because most undersized guards all develop the ability to get to the rim, which is the second thing we're going to talk about. But more importantly, getting to the rim at a high level does not look like this, where it's uncontested and you can just get downhill and beat everybody with your speed. More times than not, at an elite level, you're going to have a size disadvantage when you go to score, and you've got to be creative and going to...
Yeah, this is reminding me, we need to break down some more EuroLeague stuff. It's just so fundamental. But this is the stuff we always talk about when you're trying to get inside the block, using your body to create that space. But really, like, trying to create so much space that you can finish on the left side. And if you can do that, then it gives you the option to also finish on the right, also finish over the middle.
Have a size.
And because he has all three options available to him,
disadvantage when you go to score.
Now the defender kind of has to guess. And he kind of went actually more towards the middle, like, oh, I'll take away that layup. And then he just uses his body and gets the highest percentage shot in basketball. Had the defender come over to his left, TJ could have gone to the opposite side off the glass. It just gave him multiple options. And if you're a small, undersized guard, you have to turn your brain on and always think about getting all three options available to you. If you're a freak athlete, you only need one option available because you're just going to jump over who's there, right? But if you can't jump over, you got to go around. Then that's where you got to think of, like, oh, here's all three options. Make sure I have all of them available, and then I could just adjust accordingly.
And you've got bigger defenders like you see here so that you can...
Because when you're watching that, it just looks like a normal layup, right? Like, how do you get that layup off? But then you're like, well, no, he actually had three options. You just saw one.
Finish even when you have bigger help defend.
And a lot of people ask why players fall a lot. Iverson did this, like Dwayne Wade did this, Westbrook did this, but it's just like... This is how these guys have to get open. It actually gets him open.
Like
that bump in the air and using the defender's momentum to create that space and separation. He's not necessarily flopping for the foul. That's just what he has to do to create separation.
Here, so that you...
And then it like, look how sideways his body was. He couldn't have just landed normal, but that's what it requires for a smaller, undersized player to get that space for a layup.
You can finish even when you have bigger help defenders that are trying to block your shot. But what I think has proven to be even more important than learning how to shield off defenders is having elite touch when you get to the basket. You will almost always have defenders that are trying to block your shot or wall up, and you've got to have the ability to put the ball high off the glass with touch at full speed.
And do you remember when we were breaking down Mike James? We broke down that exact shot. He works on this, like, that's his warm-up. His warm-up is just, he was like, yeah, just find the angles that I get in the game a lot and I warm up with those. So he was doing like little hook shots from outside the key here. So if he's warming up with hook shots, right hand and left hand outside the block, oh, that was an easy shot. Look how it's difficult for us. That'd be difficult for a normal human, but that's easy for him because he's practicing his hook shots from out here. So now just doing a hook shot from in here, that's really easy to
have
do.
The ability to put the ball high off the glass with touch at full speed if you want to be someone that can score around the rim. Here's some live examples of these guards scoring over help defenders.
Shorts loves that little floater. The bump. Yeah, it's just all of our
Now, when it comes to scoring,
all of our little fundamentals that we always talk about.
At the rim, it's important to understand you have more than one option. Knowing that these help defenders are going to get vertical and try and block your shot doesn't mean that you have to always shoot floaters over the top, but when you've proven you can do that, it creates angles for you to be able to score around those big defenders as well.
It's a very good video.
The thing I want you to take away as you watch some of these live examples is that you're not going to get wide open, easy layups. You are going to have to learn how to score over, around, or sometimes through help defenders if you want to be someone who can score at the rim at an elite level.
So I'd like to ask you guys in the comments, this is a very good video. Like, this is really good, and it's explaining exactly, like, because you can shoot this floater, now you can play chess, or now you can condition them to guard that. Now you can go around and finish at the basket. Is this, do you guys think this is helpful for young players? Like, do you think young players will watch this and find it helpful and then find a way that they can apply it? To me, this actually seems more beneficial for coaches to learn why this works for certain players, and then when they're training or coaching, now they can relay that to their players. I just like to know down below, and again, this isn't a knock on the film room. This is a very good video. I'm enjoying it, and I just wonder how this type of content is digested by younger players. I mean, it's only got 17,000 views, and it's 13 days ago. This is better than anything you're going to see on, like, TikTok, how to get shifty. He's literally telling you why things work and why they don't and what you'd need to do. I just don't know how players I just don't know how players take in this information and apply it.
The third area that we have to take a look at is the mid-range game. And the reason I didn't specifically call it the mid-range jumper is because there's more things that you can do in this area of the court than just shoot jump shots. Because some of these players will actually choose to shoot floaters and runners from the mid-range over shooting traditional jump shots. Now, the reason this area ties your entire game together is because defenders are going to do everything they can to keep you out of the paint when you drive, which is going to open up a lot of opportunities to...
Man, how many times did we see that with TJ Shorts when he was driving? Just how much... He goes downhill so quick that he forces the defense to turn their shoulders and go. Then he just stops, and they're just like, wait, what's happening?
Score in this mid-range area, because there's a lot of good guards that can score it at the rim, they can make a three, but what happens is when they get past their defender, like you're going to see right here, and the help defense does a great job of taking away angles to the rim, they don't have the ability to score in this area, and that's what separates good guards from great guards. Now, if you want to shoot runners or floaters from that mid-range area to become a three-level scorer, that's great. But if you want to shoot a jumper, here's what you have to do as an undersized guard. Number one, you have to elevate and get off the ground, and you have to have a high release point.
I would say those are pieces. I would say that's not what gets you open the most, though. For me, it's just understanding momentum. It's just understanding momentum. It's hard to explain, but right here, as soon as you see his shoulders turning, Mike James knows when he's going to stop. The guy guarding Mike James doesn't know when he's going to stop. So if he wants to block Mike James' jump shot, he has to jump before Mike James does. Well, if Mike James is dribbling and this guy jumps, well, he just keeps going to the basket, right? But because he never knows when Mike is going to pull up, it's more about momentum. When you see he's running full speed, if you can just get directly into your shot, now this player, it's not like they're both loaded up, ready to jump as high as possible. Only Mike is loaded up, ready to jump, right? So now that he gets into a shot, it's more about understanding the momentum. Now, the elevation and the high release point also help on top of that. But you could be Kevin Durant, and if you can't get your defender to turn their shoulders and run, then they can play the shot. But look at his momentum. Like, he jumped at the free throw line, and it's taking him this direction. So Mike James knows he's going to have an open shot whenever this plays.
I'm going to show you.
So it was less about how high he jumped, and it was more so about the momentum that keeps the defender like doing ballet like this. Does that make sense what I'm saying? That's more important than the release point. And this is the part I talk about a lot. Sometimes, do I think you had to play at a high level to be a great coach? Absolutely not. But these are some of the little nuances that I think you miss in certain aspects. If you haven't been like the scorer on a team, how does he have a knack for scoring? How does he get that shot? It's the momentum.
Why those two things are absolutely essential, and you will not be successful in the mid-range game without them. The disadvantage to being undersized is that you have to create separation. But even when you make a great move,
same thing,
like that step back, oftentimes you're going to get a great contest, and if you don't know how to elevate off the ground and extend the ball and shoot from a high release point, you're not going to be able to get a shot off. So with all four of these guards, you're going to see them all.
Because Steph Curry still gets free and still gets open, but his release point is super low. He doesn't have like a super high release point. It's more about the momentum.
Elevate, have a high release point, and most
having both or all three is ideal.
These shots are pretty heavily contested, but they've worked long enough to be able to make those difficult shots. And
but again, like look at this player. Look how he's defending.
These guards, you're going to see them all elevate, have a high release point.
He's stepping backwards as TJ Shorts is going straight up. He's got to still step and then jump. And so his momentum, that's not him being loaded up and jumping as high as possible, because then he would block that every time. But his momentum forces him backwards just enough to where now when he jumps, it's not as high as he would like to jump. Sorry for stopping so much, but I find that really important.
So I always like to encourage guys that you have to earn the right to be able to take these type of shots.
Momentum again, right? But his defender couldn't even jump on that one.
To encourage guys that you have to earn the right to be able to take these type of shots by putting in the work to know that you're going to make them and they're not going to be low percentage. Because one of the biggest disconnects in today's game is that players want to be 3-level scorers, but they don't put in the work to be able to make these shots at a high percentage. So coaches tell them not to shoot it, and players feel like they're being handcuffed, when the reality is, unless you can make these shots at a high percentage, it's not a shot you should be shooting.
And honestly, no coach, I really like that point he made. No coach is going to tell you, hey, I really want you taking step back threes. Hey, I really want you taking those floaters in the mid-range that are heavily contested. You have to just show you can do it. And it's really scary to do, but that's why you have to train so much on a specific move to where your confidence is unwavering. Your confidence is through the roof, to where even if someone yells out at you, even if your coach goes, no, don't do it, as you're shooting it, you're like, no, I can make this, right? If you're doing a step back three and you've been practicing it and you've put in the thousands of hours, even when you shoot, make that move and your coach is like, no, you shoot with confidence because you think it's going in. That's the difference between that type of player and a player that thinks a coach at some point is just going to be like, hey, here's the keys. Here's the keys. Go do whatever you want. Here's the ultimate green light. You have to just prove you can do those things. And it's really tough. There's a fine line between being selfish and arrogant and delusional and then being confident. It's a very fine line. And everyone's kind of got to go on that journey themselves.
Make no mistake about it, having a player with a mid-range game can change the dynamic of your entire offense, but only when it's done efficiently.
Yep. Yeah, these are all momentum.
Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is something that I've seen a lot in the comments, and that's how do I get to the rim? A lot of you have struggled to figure that out because you're not able to just blow by your defender at will, which there are very few people who have the ability to do that. So a few tips that I have for you to help you out if this is something you're struggling with is look at your defender's feet first and foremost. I'm a huge believer in attacking the top foot because if you can get a step of an advantage that direction, what ends up happening is your defender has to open up his hips and
I know I'm not too big on top foot attacking. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't do it. More so on, I think if you can understand pace, like that's why I always say full speed left, full speed right. If you can go full speed both directions, then you can react to how the defense moves. If you're faster than them, it really doesn't matter which foot you're attacking, right? If you're faster, just be faster. Go around them. If you can get from point A to point B faster than them, then you attack either foot you want to. If, however, you aren't faster or you aren't quicker, then that's where attacking the top foot can get them to open up, and then you can attack the opposite way, like redrive on their other top foot. But this one, to me, Carson Edwards could have gone either direction. I don't think he was thinking, I need to attack his top foot. So a lot of coaches or a lot of trainers will see that he attacked the top foot, and he's like, oh, that's why he drove that way, because the top foot. I think Carson Edwards is just faster here, and he could drive either direction.
What ends up happening is your defender has to open up his hips, and
yeah, I think Carson Edwards could have just gone either way because he's fat. I think this is more of a mismatch. So I don't want to overthink like, oh, it's because he attacked his top foot. I mean, it's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Like, this is just a rare circumstance anyways. It's an ISO play and he's faster. I think this is where when people try to overanalyze Kyrie Irving too much, I'm like, you're overthinking it. He's just like, all those extra moves he's doing, he's just dancing with the ball, and he can go anytime he wants. He's just trying to look at the help side, or he's trying to just make it look a little spicier. Like, I don't overanalyze it. So I don't think it's necessarily wrong to attack the top foot. I just don't think that's what most players are thinking.
Now he is susceptible to allowing you to get downhill, which is all we need to do to either score or create an advantage. Now, if you're the opposite and you prefer to drive to where they're forcing you, that works too. So in
wait, what? Blown away, film room. You set me up for a whammy. I like to attack the top foot, but you can also. So that's basically what I was saying, right?
This situation, if you want to drive to your left where the defender is forcing you, it really comes down to a foot race. So
they both do.
I like the idea of lulling your defender to sleep, and then you have to take off as fast as you can.
Isn't this funny that Mike James and Carson Edwards just now did the exact same thing? Boom, between leg, tween cross, go. I think Carson Edwards tween cross, float, go. I mean, they were both doing the same thing. One attacked the top foot, one didn't. Like I said, I actually just don't think it matters. So I thought it was interesting that he put that in there. Don't worry about the top foot. Again, go move some metal in the weight room. Get quicker, get stronger, get more explosive on the court. Then you can then work on your footwork, work on your first step, work on how many dribbles it takes you to get to the basket, getting 2 feet into the key, straight line drives. Like, you put those two things together. It doesn't matter, top foot or bottom foot or set fourth foot, doesn't matter. Like, you could just do whatever.
Feed him to that spot. I love the angle of this next possession because it shows what you should be seeing as a ball handler. As Dunn comes off of this ball screen, this gap right here is where he decides that he's going to drive. Now, when you commit to driving in that gap, you have to do it with full confidence that you can get past your man, knowing that there is a help defender who could rotate over that you have to pay attention to. So recognizing these gaps will help you know where to drive, but you also need to know the personnel who's guarding you. As TJ Shorts comes off this ball screen, he recognizes that he has a speed advantage over this big, and so instead of playing around, he goes right past him at full speed and is able to get to the rim. And if you're watching these things and none of them have worked for you, the last thing that you can do is utilize ball screens to get an advantage.
Oh, I think that's like one of the first things. That's one of the best things you can do.
As this big flips the ball screen and sets it on the ball handler's left.
Oh, we watched this one, right? He fakes that he's going to use the ball screen and just goes.
Because of that screen, it opens the defender up that direction, and now he has all of this space to attack downhill. By doing this, you no longer have to rely on your athleticism. You can
I think honestly, I mean, this is the end of it. I thought this was a really good video. I don't think this actually gives players the formula or gives you the answers. Like, watching this video is not going to make you better. But this is going to show you what you need to look at and how to read the game and how to read situations that you need to learn as a player and as a coach. And then you can implement a game plan of how to get better. Does that make sense? So I actually really like this because I think this is a piece of the puzzle that we don't really see online a lot. Trainers and skills coaches online will just show you a drill and say, do this drill and you'll be better. And there's no context for it. This is like context without giving you a solution. Hey, here's some film. Here's what some of the best players in the world do in these specific situations. Kind of find out and experiment which one works for you. Or, you know, do you kind of shoot floaters, or is the 3-point shot your strength? Or it kind of shows you like, here's a few possibilities. And then you can identify like, oh, Carson Edwards, like he plays kind of like me. Like that's who I'm going to watch and learn from. I think this is a really good video to get players and get coaches like learning the game, what to look for, what to understand. I really appreciate this. So I got to watch more of the film room stuff. I really wish their videos got more views. It's 17,000 views, and this is so much better than most of the nonsense that's out there. This is really good. So I appreciate them. Let me know your thoughts down below on a couple of those questions I asked. I really like when we have these dialogues on these type of videos. But other than that, you guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one.